Welcome to Stream A, Session 3, Topic 1, Laying Out the Challenge. My name is Stephen Crolius. I'm the Director of the Transportation Program of the Clinton Climate Initiative. I'd like to introduce my co-moderator, Simon Ng, who will be helping to keep the session on track and to keep the discussion moving and productive. So, Simon, thank you. I have a number of, oh, sorry, I meant to mention Simon is a visiting scholar for the Institute for the Environment, the Hong Kong University of Science and Technology, right here in Hong Kong. So I have a number of things to do, a lot of business to transact here. If I don't do this first announcement first, I absolutely will forget. So sorry for putting this first, but we will have a meeting of the delegates from the C40 electric vehicle network immediately following the formal schedule for today. It will be in room 427 on this floor, S427. If you're a delegate from the C40 electric vehicle network city, then we invite you to attend that session. Okay. I'd like to set the stage here a little bit with some perspectives from our work. I guess first I should find my slides. Okay, maybe here. Maybe someone, oh, there we go, got it. Okay, now we're good to go. So some perspectives from our work with the C40 electric vehicle network that we have been conducting over the last year or so with 17 members of the C40 Cities Climate Leadership Group. I'd like to start by saying that we at the Clinton Climate Initiative, in common with, I think, everybody in this room, we are in the business of solutions. When we think about solutions to the climate change crisis, we start with some philosophical choices that we have to make. First, we can try to change the way people live, or we can use technology to take the carbon out of people's lifestyles. Second, we can try to pass laws and regulations that will force people to accept sustainable solutions, or we can develop new goods and services that will make climate-friendly choices easy to adopt. Finally, we can wait for the invisible hand of the marketplace to work its magic, or we can rally societal support, including enlightened policies, public policies, around smart climate bets. Now, of course, we prefer the second choice in each of those philosophical decisions that we have to make. As we think about those choices, we look at the different options and opportunities that there are in the world, and we don't think there is an opportunity that better embodies the philosophy of those choices than the electric vehicle movement. The key here is value proposition. Value proposition is, of course, subjective, but clearly there are many different kinds of vehicle choices that are out there. We think that electric vehicles will be a preferred choice for many types of green kinds of consumers, but we have work to do to make sure that electric vehicles are the preferred choice for as many consumers as possible. We are working with electric vehicle manufacturers. We are working with electrical utilities. We're working with charging services companies, and we're bringing people together in collaborative arrangements to realize the potential that we feel very strongly exists for electric vehicles. I'd like to speak a little bit about the work that we are doing here in the electric vehicle space with the members of the C40 Electric Vehicle Network. There are 17 members as we stand here today. They are on every continent. They include large cities and small cities, but they all are dedicated to the proposition that electric vehicles are a technology that has a significant role to play in reducing greenhouse gas emissions. They're dedicated to the idea that the success of electric vehicles will be a function of value proposition. They're dedicated to the idea that value proposition will be created locally, and it will be created through collaboration. I say locally because there'll be policies, there'll be amenities, there'll be physical assets that will be deployed in specific places. And whereas the original equipment manufacturers have a primary role in setting the value proposition for electric vehicles, the other stakeholders that I mentioned will also have a very significant role to play. For example, in the question of charging infrastructure. Charging infrastructure has an indispensable role to play in addressing the biggest challenge that electric vehicles face, the challenge, of course, being range tether. And the only way to address range tether, the only way to make people feel comfortable when they leave home that they will be able to charge out in the public realm and not need to make it back to their homes before they can charge again. The only way to do that is to deploy charging infrastructure widely and in an effective way. And so each member of the electric vehicle network is dedicated to this idea that it's their job. The municipal authorities, the local utilities, the local presences of the charging services companies need to come together to make sure that the infrastructure is in place, will be in place, and that people will feel comfortable using it. So with that, I would like to actually turn to Mr. Mark Evers. I want to get Mark's title. Mark is the director of the Commissioner's Delivery Unit for Transport for London. And London is a very important member of the electric vehicle network and is leading the way in many aspects. And we're very pleased that Mark will be able to give us some perspectives from in the trenches in an actual city. And with that, I'd like to turn it over to Mark.